Hello, Bill Molyneux here for Bill's Wargame World and Bill's History World. Happy New Year! And it's December 31st, 2024. And I made the short version of a thank you note. This is the long version. So you may not want to stay for the whole thing, but you might enjoy what we have to talk about. Uh, we're going to right off the bat, we're going to mention the Goober 24 calendar, which is concluded. So there's the Christmas picture, the neighbor's house. All right. Everyone that purchased a Goober 24 calendar, thank you. And then we have the Goober 25 calendar. January 2025 features Fort Frederick with Robert Ambrose. That's right, Robert Ambrose, the park ranger. I made over 40 or 50 videos with him. Thank you, Robert Ambrose, for everything, for supporting my channel. And Robert Ambrose is the park ranger that got me going into the idea of making history videos. And I added Goober the Traveling Bear, which Robert really probably thinks is a little off at times, but I've been using the Honey Nut Bee and a lot of other cartoon characters to promote products over the years. And I got to say thank you to so many historians. Robert Kelly, for instance, at the Gloucester Museum of History in Virginia. Robert Kelly has made 30 or 40 videos with me also. So many historians have helped promote history on the History Channel. Now, I got to say, all of you in the Wargaming channel that watch and help raise money, all these different letters, Gettysburg Foundation, Fort Ticonderoga, Deltaville Museum of History, Braddock's Battlefield History Center. The list goes on. The Friends of the Conrad Weisers. I got a stack of thank you letters from Goober and I when we raise money with the YouTube channel, and we make donations. So we're changing our donations a little bit this year. What has happened, it was getting complicated handling, doing so many different sites for donation money. So we're doing 3 this year. The first one is Weiss Fork from January 1st through April 30th. The Weiss Fork board game that I made helps support the battlefield, the Save Weiss Fork Battlefield, Kinston, North Carolina. Don't forget the CSS News, the reproduction Ironclad is there, and the CSS Museum, Noose Museum. I'm very proud of this game, Weiss Fork Battle Game. It's much more complicated than many of my other games. I would appreciate it if maybe you consider ordering one at Blue Panther Printing. All right, things to be thankful for. I'm so thankful for so much, but I'm thankful to all of you that watch and the friends I have made. I've made friends with so many historians and wargamers, and I'm going to talk about this friend here, Sheriff John. Sheriff John of Broome County, New York, retired. He sent me another patch. This is going down to a young lady in Matthews, Virginia. Now, Sheriff John sent me a check for the Civil War Trails. Thank you, Sheriff John. We're going to add this to our donation for our YouTube money. I received a beautiful Christmas card from Sheriff John. It says, "Keep up the great work. Know your hard work is love. God bless you. The family, I think of you as family." His father, Sheriff John's father, he's 93. I gotta say, Sheriff John's father has produced me a tiger. And everyone knows the Wisp that's, this thing has been in a lot of battles. And it's done really well. And it also has been blown up a few times. Anyhows, we got something else in the box from Sheriff John's father. And here we go. Look at this. Korean War. Wow. Everything looks good. Sheriff John was worried about the antennas, but they shipped quite well. So his father, who's 93, builds these wonderful models. Now, we did lose a hatch. We'll have to glue that back on. We'll put it inside for now. So Look at that. And we do have Korean War wargaming at Bill's Basement and the Chuckleheads. So thank you, Sheriff John. He's just one of many wargamers and historians. Things I got to be thankful for. You know, all of you, my Chucklehead Wargaming group, the Hawks Wargaming group. The Chuckleheads are exceptionally special with Walt Leach, our leader, and then Kevin Colonel Handsome and Mike Kennedy, Josh and Jim Shaw. They're both awesome. And of course, Joseph and Derek. So we mentioned Sheriff John and all of that. In the past year, besides trying to promote a lot of historic sites, I continued my work on wargaming and board war games at historic sites. I'm very proud my War of 1812 game is selling very well. Thank you, Steve Jones and Trevor Jones at Blue Panther Printing. This is sold at Fort McHenry Historic Shrine right here in Baltimore. I'm very proud of that. The park rangers I know are actually playing it. Another game that Blue Panther reworked for me was by Horns of the Buffalo, the Anglo-Zulu war game. Very proud of how well this is selling. And Dennis Bishop, sadly, the Professor Dennis passed away before it got produced, but he was of great assistance on that. So, what else did we try to do this year besides raising money for a lot of different sites? We did some book reviews. I did not do as many as I would have liked, but Scott Mingus, our favorite author, we did several of his books. We did Wayne Motts and his Civil War book on Pickett's Charge. The Second Battle of Winchester book by Scott Mingus and Eric J. Wittenberg. This book was phenomenal and learned a lot. And I made a lot of history videos of of the battlefield of Winchester, Virginia, too. So we're covering a lot of topics. Now, in the miniature wargaming world, this Saturday, the Chuckleheads and I will be playing a wargame at Walt's house. And it'll be a Wild West action. I'm not sure what rules we're using. It might be Mark Fasaso's rules for Wild West. But I wanted to bring up some Native American 54 millimeter figures I found on a site called Temu. And you get 4 of these figures for just a couple dollars. Now, the detail on them isn't too bad. And they're mounted, but for $1.12 or something for 4 of them. If you need a lot of these, like I have for a Custer's Last Stand game, these are pretty good. All right. So as far as the historians I met, and mixing board wargaming, miniature wargaming, and of course historic videos, trying to mesh the 3. We have the 2 channels, Bill's Wargame World and Bill's History World. And I hope you subscribe to the History World channel in 2025, because we're going to take all that YouTube money and give it to the Weiss Fork Battlefield to Skip and Wade, and hopefully help that battlefield stay a battlefield, get more signage up, and just keep it going. And Goober also supports the American Friends for Lafayette, and we've been doing our best to try to promote that along with Civil War Trails. Goober is wearing his American Friends for Lafayette pin. So we try to do quite a bit, and I'm just an old guy coming up with ideas to promote history and doing the best I can, and having some fun while doing it. And I've met a lot of people. And it's interesting, in the Goober calendar, there are so many historians I've met, and I've learned so much. I've learned about dresses made out of flour sacks, for instance. the Dr. Best Museum that's haunted in Schoharie, New York. Traveling the entire East Coast from Kinston, South Carolina to as far north as Crown Point, way over to Fort Niagara. Goober the Traveling Bear and I have done so much in 2024 alone. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to work on some miniature wargaming stuff and for the new year this evening. And I'm going to get prepared for a big, exciting January where I will be at Fort Belvoir Museum, the American Army Museum, January 25th, running a miniature game for the United States Army Museum there with the Chuckleheads and Walt and Kevin and all. And I believe we have a jam-packed February with running the Battle of Weiss Fork in February at the Williamsburg Muster, Valentine's weekend, and also March 1st weekend in Gettysburg, running the miniature war game of Weiss Fork again. So lots going on. I need to interview some historians in Matthews, Virginia, Mr. Roger and Mrs. Reed. We have a new store, historic site store being open there as a museum. I need to interview for that. And we have a lot of stuff going on throughout the year of historic sites for Goober and I to visit, along with our miniature and board games. I'll probably want to close this out with, I have a board game I'm producing called the Battle of the Hook, the largest cavalry battle in the American Revolution, happened in Gloucester, Virginia. There's very little in the way of YouTube videos about it, but I've been working with Robert Kelly, the historian in Gloucester, Virginia, and that game I'm hoping will be released within the next couple months with the help from Steve Jones at Blue Panther Printing. And I'm hoping maybe many of the museums in Yorktown, Virginia area will carry it, and we give back our game money to historic sites. Now, I had a person ask me, the museums get my games, they receive them at a lower cost than retail shops. So if you are a museum, this next month I'll be sending out flyers of how you can order our games with the Goober code at Blue Panther Printing. All right, well, this is a longer thank you video, and so everyone out there from, I'm going to just rattle off historians, Rich Strum up at Fort Ticonderoga, to Sean McIntyre at Braddock's Battlefield History Center, Fort Ligonier over at with Matt and Galt, and then as far south, Kinston, North Carolina, to Wade and Skip and Mike. And gotta remember Matthew Young, who runs the CSS Noose Museum, and Keith Haynes, and the list is endless. I am amazed at how many historians have worked with me in this past year. Bob Studi at Fort Frederick, and Holly over at Middlesex Museum, where Chesty Puller memorabilia is, the Great Marine. And I can't forget the Maryland Veterans Museum with Connie and Nell. They have made probably 25 to 30 videos with me also at that wonderful museum in La Plata, Maryland, Newburgh, Maryland. Well, I think I've tried to say thank you to everyone across the board. I may have missed somebody here and there. I probably am sure I have. I probably should mention the 3 museums in Matthews, Virginia, where our new home is, our second home. All 3 museum people there have been wonderful. Miss Nancy, Mrs. Reed, Miss Becky, Roger. I think it's Dennis at the Marina Museum. Thank you to all of them too. All right, I think I hit everybody as far as I can remember at this point. If you know of a museum that might want to carry my French Indian War, my Revolutionary War games, please let me know. You know, the 250th is coming up, and I have the Valley Forge game, Brandywine, Germantown, Paoli, Gloucester, and working with Stephen King. Stephen King the Revolutionary War author. He has a Yorktown game that I'm trying to help promote for him also. That's really, really good. If you know someone at the Yorktown, Jamestown museums, we have a great game for young adults. All right, boy, did I cover a lot. I'm going to go and start working on the workbench, packing up the World War II Battle of the Bulge game, find my gunslingers for this weekend's Chucklehead video, and get ready to celebrate the new year with my wife Lisa, who all of this could not happen without her support. Her support to let me driving all over the East Coast at times, and sometimes her health isn't the best, so I have to go on my own. So I have to say thank you to her also in this giant thank you video. We are over 4,000 viewers in the Wargaming channel, and thank you to all of you that watch and help support and the giving money, just watching my videos, and it helps make money for these historic sites. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year for 2024, going into 2025. Stay safe, be kind, and be courteous. And thank you again for watching Bill's Wargame World, Bill's History World with Goober the Traveling Bear. All right, talk to you later.